Now this mint, it wraps itself around in the pot. If you can see that, those tendrils coming out of there, and all underneath there. This whole thing needs to come apart and be split into about 500. You know, like you could do it if we had a greenhouse, of course. I need more dirt. I think I'll buy more dirt this time and put a lot of the mint away inside the structure in there, just so it doesn't die at all. Because I'm starting to get a ton of this chocolate mint, and it's greatest tea I've ever had. Once I get tons of it, I'm just going to start selling tea bags of chocolate mint, I think. Because, gosh, you never tasted anything so delightful. And it's absolutely, makes you feel great. You got strength, stamina, I don't know. I better look up what it has in it, so I can fill you in. But it's always made, well, I know it's good for that time of month when women have the moon, their moon, period, whichever you'd like to call it. And it's good for the full moon. Yeah. It's a calming thing. Mint. It's very calming. This is my great chocolate mint. And it's doing well. So, everything's doing well. It looks great. It's not very high, neither am I. So it got built this high. This here, I just bent these. Didn't need the top one, I just took the top one off and made it fit in here, which is, and I planted a bunch of stuff like oregano you can see in here, some over there, and some more mint over there, and there's a ton of garlic in there. I don't know what to do with it. I'll just put it in cold storage somehow, I'll find out. And I'm not going cold storage yet because, but I am aware now that it's could be cold. Yeah. This could flip on a dime, this weather. And then again, it could stay warm. So I pulled up my garden before in August, and I've wound up crying because it was such beautiful weather after that. So, here we go. If I seem to talk monotone, I have a head injury, and that's my right. And you can't really fix that too much. I actually had a couple head injuries. And the last head injury, my eye is fixed. It's unbelievable. Anyway. Well, little tomato. These things were so strong. I think I accidentally pushed them away. I did everything. They're purple. They have purple stems. And they were right by the purple mint. And I don't know. I have some basil that tastes like mint. Is it a possibility that my mint... This is basil. Come on, people. Look at it. This is basil. I know this one's got a little ant, whatever, mark in it. But that's basil. Well, how come this mint here, it's growing like a basil, smells like a mint? It smells like a basil mint. I love it when things like that happen in the garden. This is fantastic. I don't even understand how that... Oh, I'll just leave that a little thingy, but they're well, no, they're good. I shouldn't say that. That's a harmless plant. In fact, you can eat its roots and its top. So that's a dandelion. So here we have a basil, and it's not because it's close to it. If you look at the leaves, they now look like, uh-oh, it's gonna get bright. They now look like a mint leaf, people. How did the basil, excuse me, how, see the mints here, the way the stem is, it's red, okay? there's lots of viney things when it comes to the viney, or tendrily, whichever you'd like to call it. But this here is the basil. But how does basil, I'm not kidding you, turn into mint? Cross-pollination, you say? Maybe? So, I'll just leave that for now. Actually, if anybody was ever into it, it's quite a spectacle. This one, maybe I'll take it off. Yeah, it's good. It smells like basil mint. That's not the, it's a weird smell. If you can imagine what basil and mint, it'd probably be great together in a dish. But like, as a plant, that's different. So here, it looks to me to be basil mint. There's the real basil, like the basil it was supposed to be. It now looks like the mint. Smells like mint and basil. So we got a new plant here. Hallelujah! And it might even be stronger than the basil, because the basil's very weak. It's genetically, it seems very weak. At least it's had a lot of bugs on it. A lot of things have eaten it and put holes in it. It's not a very strong plant, but if it was crossed with the mint, which is a tough plant, man, that's a tough plant. You don't kill those easy, unless you're really trying to. Anyway, that's what I discovered. I'll let my son smell it, but isn't that? But see, the stems are basil, but the leaves aren't. Hey there, looky that. Basil mint, I think. Basil chocolate mint. Is that a possibility? I think so. Beautiful. Namaste.